Welcome back to Pilot Ryan Media. This is Ryan. We are doing a Bambu series. I've got the new H2D and I've been using the Bambu X1C extensively. A lot of hours on that and learning all the time. What's great about the Bambu printers is I really hit the ground running and printed off a ton of trucks. And just now I'm really diving into what all you can do. Like I said, the last video, there's a card up here somewhere or link in the description, how we size it up and we determine scale, and then also how we slice it up and cut it where the glue joints are going to be perfect every time. And I showed how to do locator pins. So you can see there on that leading edge, there's the holes in there. And then I've had holes on this side as well. And I put my dowel rods in there. And now when I have to glue this together, it's going to be lined up absolutely perfectly. And so that's what the video was last time. You guys responded really great to that. So thank you very much. In the last video, I mentioned modifiers and you guys responded. So we're going to do that. And what brought this on, necessity always dictates. So the bed of our next project, we're selling these trucks. Links in the description and stuff like that. Now, again, we're taking these files and we're bringing them in together sometimes. What normally would have been a separate file for the inside of this truck bed and the outer body, we've got it all together in one big chunk. And it makes it very strong, but it also makes it very heavy. So my goal in learning how to do the modifiers and then sharing what I've learned with you is I want to make this as light as I can, actually, because I do not need the default 15 infill for this. It makes it heavy. All I want is it to be strong here at our the mounts that Kelly designed for our rigs. So we're going to get into it and we're going to create a modifier to just beef it up right here where it matters and then go really light on the infill everywhere else. And I've done the math and everything, and I can tell you exactly how much we save on weight here in just a little bit. So let's get right into it. Now I'm going to do it where you can see the actual work we're doing. And this is so neat. So I'm going to go ahead and flip it over. And we'll snap to those lines in the inner part of the circle. So it does it on the 45. And we're going to center it up again. And I can lose the marks. Here's our piece that we've drug in. And as I was saying, I wanted to go with the lighter infill. So we're going 5 on the infill from the defaulted 15. And if we run this and slice it, it's going to be 495. If I do it at 15, the stock default, it's 540. So 45, 2 ounces more if I leave it at 15. So if I go down to 5, but just beef up the back, I only suffer a little bit. 8 grams is all if I do this modifier the way I want to. So I'm going to go ahead and slice this just to establish a baseline, basically. So 5 infill on the whole truck bed here. And we'll see that it should be around 495 grams. And like I said, at the default infill, it's 540. It's like 2 ounces heavier. And when I do the modifiers, it's only going to cost me 8 grams. So 503 is what I got the first time I did this. Okay, so this has been sliced now at 5 for the infill on the whole truck bed. Supports and all, we're looking at 495 grams. If I went with the default 15 infill ratio, it puts me at 540.86 grams. So 45 grams is what I'm saving by going down to 5 infill. It's like 2 ounces, right? something like that, I believe. So what we want to do now is create our modifiers. So I'm going back into prepared. I'm going to go ahead and right click, add modifier, and we're going to go for a cube. Switch per object setting mode to edit modifier settings. Okay. And right here, now at the bottom left, it's telling us the sparse infill density. It's built upon the initial file that we just changed to 5. So we are going to go ahead and change the modifier to 77. 100's crazy. 77's plenty strong. We're actually really getting along fine with these trucks at 15 infill for these parts, but it's fine. I really want us to be able to see the difference when I do it. So now we can scale up our box here and get it in its location. So we're going to just square things up, stretch this out. Looks pretty good. We already know we're going to have to go taller. So we'll go ahead and bring this up so we can see what's happening when we put it where we want it. Go back to the top to square things up and eyeball this. That looks pretty good to me. And then we're tall enough. All right. Now let's go ahead and move it so it's not hanging out on the bottom. And we'll bring this up here to where it's at least on the plate, so to say. Okay, good. It doesn't need to be that tall, but it kind of is. Oh, I'm still in the move tool. Move some more. And now we can go back to scale and I can bring it down. It'll be less work for it to do. So that's where I want it. You can see that yellow box there. Now, what we do now is slice this. We've got our infill selected on the modifier at 77, and we're still staying on the 2 walls. We can change it to 4 though. Why not? Just make it stronger. We should go ahead and slice this. Okay, so this is the cool part. So we did you can see this is a very loose infill. 5 is the ratio I've got selected on this, the major part of this truck bed file, because there's so much going on. Sidewalls, the floor, the wheel wells. It does not need, I'm saving 2 ounces basically doing this. And I've already scrubbed down. You can see now, this is what's really cool. So when you scrub down and you can see the bracket and some of the supports, and you can see how the bracket is a tight infill. And when I get down into the floor as well, you can see how it all lays on layer to layer. But you can see the loose infill of 5 and the tight infill of 77. So that's exactly what I wanted to do. And you can also see the 4-wall thickness that's around this modifier. So yeah, so the whole body, it's got its 2 walls, top and bottom, outer, inner, on the bed of this truck. A 5 ratio infill on the majority of it. But right here where the mount is, it's at 77. And another way to compare this is when you look at, once I get into the, now I didn't do 100 infill, so it's still got a little bit of space in there, but 4 walls makes it incredibly strong. 77 on the infill for this whole rectangle and the mount itself. But then look out here on the body, how loose that infill is of 5. So that's how I'm able to keep it strong, but nice and light. And that's what I really wanted to learn how to do. And we did it. It's that easy. But yeah, that is so cool. So that's how that works right there. That's basically what it is. And that's going to be inside of it. You're never going to see this. So if you go all the way to finish, they're showing us this demarcation line here. We still may see that even if we go 2 walls thick. And I think we will. So let's experiment with that though. But yeah, let's look at this. So 504.81 versus 540. If I leave the whole thing at 15 infill, it's 540 grams. I've got this lightened up by what, 36 grams lighter, and I still have the strength where I want it. We're going to do it one more time. Let's just, out of curiosity, go to 2 wall thickness on the modifier instead of 4. This will make it even lighter, actually. Go ahead and slice plate. It'll take forever. Yeah, that saved a little bit. 2 grams. That's it. But it looks like I'm not going to see that demarcation line that we saw before. So let's close that and scrub it down and take a look. Now we're about to get into the bed. Nice. And then you're into the supports there. I will not print this laying down this way. I'm just doing it to show you the modifiers. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm going to stick with 2 on this. We're going to go ahead and save this work. And I like saying what printer I designed it on to, because the software is just it's not different, but it just helps me keep it straight. So H2D Ford bed modified, ready to go, because that is the coolest thing. And that is really the whole point of this video today, was to make this truck bed as light as possible while not losing any strength where we're going to need it. In the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to paint different colors so you can utilize your AMS. And this is what you do. You'll go in here and we'll pick these sections and make sure all the gray goes away. And there's tricks too for getting this done and cleaning it up when you're finished. And it looks like there's a little line there still showing. And some of that's just showing the facets here when it's blown up this much, but there's ways to fix that. So, and then when you get down here, it's going to be more the same. And there's ways to fill this in that aren't just clicking it, because what happens if I click this one here is it may fill in the rest of the body. And you can adjust those, the smart fill angle to do what it is you need to do. But we're going to show you how to paint one of these. Yeah, so that angle is, it's almost a little too small, but that's okay. So watch this. If I choose sphere and I can choose the size of the pin, and there we can see it, you can just draw it out. And then you can really get in here and clean this up. There's all kinds of ways. We can make this pin size really small. And clean that up. So stick around for that if you want to see how to paint multicolors with the AMS. This can be done with a, anything that has an AMS, but with the H2D having 2 nozzles, it's going to be really a lot faster and way less waste. And I just want to see it do it. I'm so pumped to see it do this. And this print's going to take forever because it's another big chunk with a lot going on, but that's okay. And if you're printing in PLA and stuff that really shows the lines a lot, just paint it for real. But this carbon fiber and glass fiber stuff, PETG that I'm using, looks so good that it's worth it, because I'm making so many trucks these days. I'm not finishing them and painting them like I used to, because they look so good coming off the printer now. So very cool. Well, you made it. We figured out how to modify the files to make this heavy truck bed lighter than it was, but maintain and actually make stronger the parts that really matter to me, which is where this bed mounts to the chassis. If I go really light on the infill, trying to achieve a lighter weight, and don't do something here, I can't be surprised when it breaks. So we took a default 15 infill down to 5 and beefed it up to 77 where it counts, here on the bracket and here on the tongue. Hopefully this video helped you some way. This is the first time I've ever done it today, but I knew it could be done, and just a little bit of research, and I was able to learn it and figure it out myself. A ton of great content out there on 3D printing, and Bambu Labs especially. Seems like there's a ton of it. Thanks once again to Bambu Labs for hooking it up with these machines. I'm just over the moon, and it has literally changed my RC life. You may not be making trucks, but hopefully some of this will be able to be implemented in the projects you're doing, where you want to lighten things up and keep it strong where it counts. The last video we did was how we scale our trucks. So we figured out the math on how big to make it so it's right, and then showed you how we cut it so you can get it perfect when they made up every time by using the dowel feature in the cutting tool. So cool that we can glue this together and it's perfect every time. You can't tell that there's dowel pins in here, but there are. So both of these sides have holes in them. The dowels are already inserted into this front piece, and this is what you get. And it makes putting it together perfect every time. And then you get wise about where you put those, and you put them on like a door panel or something like that, and it hides the glue joint, so the finish work is minimal, and you can glue it from the inside and save yourself a lot of messing around. So with that, thank you so much for coming by. We'll see you in the next one. Come by the live stream. We do it every Wednesday, 7 Eastern time. Me and Kelly, RC3D Fab Factory, where we talk about the projects we're doing. We started making trucks a couple years ago, and every one of them was fantastic, but the challenge was the same. How do we make them RC ready? How do we make them strong? And how do we make these big things where they're easy to assemble and we can get it right every time, so we can actually share and repeat our results? So not every time is it a one-off or just a happy accident. We've got tons of these Fords, tons of these Scouts, a lot of new trucks in the works that we're working on. And we work really hard to get them right at the beginning. And then after that, we save our files and we can print them off one after the other and share them with the community. If you're into getting one of these cool bodies yourself, check out the links in the description, RC3D Fab Factory, or hit us up in the comments, Messenger, anything like that, and get a hold of us, and we can show you what we got. Check out the playlist. Tons of trucks that we've 3D printed. We're having a blast. We'll see you in the next one.